Hello world, I'm Colleen, and welcome to my glamorous life. I'm the almost 50-year-old mom of 3 teenagers here to give you helpful tips, tricks, and honest reviews and a little bit of weird history on the side. So today is all about the weird history of Valentine's Day and this simple Valentine's Day look. So if you're interested in this sort of thing, click that subscribe button and let's get to it. So we're going to talk about Valentine's Day and what could be weird about the day where we all get chocolate and roses or stay home and drink martinis because we don't have a Valentine. I always thought it was kind of interesting why we do certain things, and like many other things, Valentine's Day has a weird past. You may not realize this, but everybody knows it is St. Valentine's Day, right? So you'd think there was a St. Valentine's. Not really. There's actually 2, both of which were executed by the Emperor Claudius II. 2 different years, allegedly on February 14th. One of them actually defied the emperor because he put a ban on marriage. He thought it distracted his soldiers, so he illegally got married and was executed. Okay, I'm going to prime my face with the Makeup Forever Step 1 Skin Equalizing Hydrating Base. The other one, he actually was killed for attempting to help Christians escape prison in Rome. But they were both executed by the same emperor about different years, but allegedly on the same date, on this February 14th. Now, I kind of question that because like many other festivals and saints' days, the Catholic Church took over an existing festival, okay? So it was started out as a pagan festival. I'm going to use the ColourPop No Filter Foundation today. That's this one right here. It'll focus. Thank you. And this is in the color Light 75, I believe. So basically, a lot of historians believe that, it commemorates the saints' deaths, right? No. In reality, there was a pagan fertility festival in Rome called Lupercalia. And it was celebrated on the 15th of February, so right around the same time, dedicated to Faunus, the Roman god of agriculture, and also to Romulus and Remus, who, as you recall from the weird history of Rome, were the founders of Rome. The twins, the one killed the other. And they celebrated this day, okay? Like with most things, they were drinking and reveling and what have you. But the men would sacrifice a goat and a dog. Why a goat and a dog, I don't know, but that's what they did. And they would skin the animals and then proceed to beat women with the skins from the animals. Nobody's quite sure why though, but they did. They also held a lottery where all the women's names were put in a jar and all the eligible men pulled out a name, and those 2 were coupled, if you know what I'm saying, for the entire run of the festival. It was believed to encourage fertility, and Faunus being the god of agriculture, they wanted their crops to do good and all this other stuff. So they got it on. And so you could say that Valentine's Day does have its roots in love, but it didn't become an official holiday associated with love in any way, shape, or form until about the 1300s. And the Pope Gelasius officially declared February 14th St. Valentine's Day. So it wasn't really until the Middle Ages that it became associated with love and romance. It was like a tradition first started as a belief in France and England because birds started their mating season around that time frame and everything. Now, our little friend Cupid, let me prime my eyelids here. This is, once again, the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer that I love so much. In Greek mythology, our little buddy Cupid, who's known, for us, shooting us with arrows and making us fall in love, what have you. He's a Greek god, officially named Eros originally. He was actually a handsome, immortal man who had the intimidating power to be able to make people fall in love. And it wasn't until the 4th century that the Romans adopted him and turned him into the cute little boy with the little cherub with the arrows that we know as Cupid. And by the 19th century, he somehow became linked with Valentine's Day, being that Valentine's Day is all about love. We're going to use the Laura Geller Cinnamon and Spice palette today. That's this one right here, because I'm going to stick with these little pink colors over here. I'm going to start with this light one right here, just as an all-over wash. The first actual recorded Valentine, okay, way before Hallmark and all that, was actually sent in the 15th century. It's the oldest one on record that they know, according to, I think it's history.com. It was a poem written by a French medieval duke named Charles to his wife in 1415. He penned this thing to his lover, and he says, "I'm already sick of love, my very gentle Valentine." How sweet is that? So he really, he loved his wife. That's pretty sweet, right? Okay, now I'm going to go in and just catch my crease just a little bit with this next color down. But it wasn't until like the 1840s that we started getting mass-produced Valentines. The Industrial Revolution is starting, and people are starting to see the commercialism. They can make money off this stuff, right? So it was sold by Esther Howland in the U.S. in the 1840s. She's known as the mother of the American Valentine. So she's credited with commercializing Valentines. And she would make elaborate cards, handmade with lace and ribbons and all sorts of stuff to just really accentuate the holiday, if you will. The tradition of flowers, though, that dates back a little further. That was started in the 17th century. And King Charles of Sweden learned the language of flowers, which pairs different flowers with certain meanings, like the red rose is love, the yellow rose is friendship, and all, so on and so forth. And the act of giving flowers actually kind of got popularized more during the Victorian era, because that's when most of our modern traditions started, was in there. We spend a lot of money right now on it. We spend like billions, like $27+ billion a year for all of Valentine's Day. We spend like $2.4 billion on chocolate, and I don't even want to think about what we spend on flowers. But it was really Hallmark that kind of took us over the edge, just as they do with all of our holidays, and moved us forward, So they're the ones that kind of popularized the Valentine's Day card as a mass media thing in the early 1900s. So we're going to go in with a little bit of this frosty one here. So how did the heart become associated with love and Valentine's Day? I wonder. Well, as far back as the ancient Greeks, lyrical poetry has identified the heart as kind of a seat of passion, if you will. Though at one point they thought that love, the whole center of the body was in the liver, right? But no, the heart. We're talking about the heart. When did it become the symbol that we know? I mean, we all know that a human heart looks nothing like a Valentine's Day heart. I mean, come on. So we're going to use the Pretty Vulgar Nesting Vase for contour today with the Sunny Bee here. So how did we get the pointed two-lobed heart that we all know and love, right? Well, there is a plant that used to be used for birth control, of all things, Siliphium, and the pods were shaped like hearts. And unfortunately, these were so popular in the ancient world that the plant no longer exists. But the shape of the pod became associated with love for, fairly obvious reasons. You could have all the love you wanted if you had that plant, because you didn't have to worry about babies, I guess. I don't know. Venus in Rome, we get back to our Cloacina Venus. Yeah, no. She was the goddess of love and credited with, or blamed for setting hearts afire with the aid of her son Cupid, you know, hence our little bow dude, right? Eros from Greece. I'm going to use the Dawn Blush today in Rose Anglaise, English Rose. So there's a coin, you know, dated back to sometime in the 4th century, 3rd, 4th century, that is the oldest known depiction of the traditional heart shape that we know. And it was basically designed around that silphium pod. Silphium. There are words I just can't say. So the silphium pod. And it was put on a coin to honor it, you know, and there was a curious belief that the ancient Romans had about the heart that actually links to some of our modern traditions. And the 4th finger on the left hand, you know, the one that we put a ring on, that one was believed to have a vein directly to the heart. And I'm going to use the Ciate London in Pinch Me. This is their little highlighting blush. I love this as just a highlighter. So wearing a wedding ring on the 4th finger of the left hand goes back to the connection to the heart, meaning that, you know, that you're connected by heart. The 12th and 13th century, the heart became, you know, kind of came into the being with the feudal courts of Europe with chivalry and everything. So it began, you know, perfect or refined love, courtly love, troubadours. The heart became the center of everything, and thus our loving romance with the 2-pointed lobe. Now I'm going to have to stop talking for a minute while I put on my eyeliner, because I cannot do this and talk at the same time, because we're going to do just a very soft little cat eye traditional Valentine's Day look. So I've got the I've got the Tarte's double-ended liner. I love this one. I hardly ever use the gel end, though it is on there. It does have a gel end if you want to do a smudged look. I typically use the liner. It stays put for me. So, all right, let's see if I can make these even today, shall we? So if anybody out there knows a really good trick for getting your cat's eyes even, I would love to hear it, because I always have to fix mine. And to do that, once again, I use the Makeup Forever Scentsy Eyes, just a little drop on the back of my hand, and roll it around with a Q-tip, and then I just clean up whatever I need to clean up. It works pretty good. So now that I've got my liner on, I'm going to use the ColourPop Cosmetics Pretty Fresh Focus Hyaluronic Acid Concealer. I love this. This is a creamy concealer. I love this because it doesn't cake up quite the way most concealers do, and it stays nice and moist under my eyes. But here again, I'm not going to use a ton of it. I just want to dot that under my eyes just a little bit there. And I'm going to take my little blending brush here. I love these. These are Moda brushes. These blending brushes that I've been using, these two. I love these. These are, I don't know if you call them toothbrush brushes or what, but I love these because they're flexible. So you can kind of press in and really get things in there, and they just blend beautifully. I can get up in here where I can't usually. And it just blends in nicely. And these come in a range of sizes. I have a whole set from itty bitty to the great big one like this to itty tiny bitty. That's perfect for like snatching that. It's perfect for like snatching your nose or stuff. But these are the two I use the most. And this way I can kind of flick that concealer right up under the edge of my lashes. And really, really nice. Okay, so I've got the Laura Mercier setting powder in translucent and a teeny tiny little Juno & Co. Setting sponge. This is one of their microfiber setting sponges, which I absolutely love. I use this kind of dry when I'm setting under my eyes, just because I have found for me, if I use a wet sponge under my eyes, I end up with cake central. And since the idea is soft romance, we don't want cake. So we have a holiday here that everybody loves, right? Valentine's Day. And it's centered around a guy who allegedly got married when he wasn't supposed to. Okay, that works. And then a guy that saved Christians. Okay, love of a fellow man, I guess. But you also have, I'm going to take a powder brush now and just kind of set everything. You also have the traditional Roman Catholic thing. They when they came in, they took whatever the local traditions were and turned them into Catholic feast days. So Lupercalia became Valentine's Day, which kind of makes sense because they were trying to find a way to convert people to Christianity. So they just took their own holidays and made them official. I find it interesting, a day that the Catholic Church wanted to make just a saint's feast day, you know, minor saint, little feast, okay. It turned into a lover's holiday when it started out pretty much as a lover's holiday, you know. They were into the abundance, fertility, and all that in Lupercalia. So Lupercalia became a feast day, which was a, you know, calm Catholic feast day. And then it turned back into a lover's holiday, which I think is kind of neat. Okay, we're going to set everything down with the Morphe Continuous Mist, just to give it that soft little glowy look. All right, I'm going to pop off camera, put some mascara on and my eyelashes, and we'll come back and do my lips, and we'll wrap this up. Okay, I'm back. So I used the Lashaholic lashes here. These are the Instaglam lashes, which I kind of like. And a little trick I have for making sure that your lashes kind of blend in is if you go back over the top with your liner just a hair right at that lash line, it tends to hide the seams. It covers any little oopses where you might have missed with your liner or if the glue pulled something up. And my all-time favorite glue has got to be the Kiss Strip Lash Adhesive. This is their aloe one. This is a non-latex. So it's very important to me to have a non-latex lash glue because my daughter's allergic to latex. And if she ever gets a hold of it or I want to hug her and it gets on her. So I use non-latex. Big deal. Okay, lips. Last thing, because we all know that Valentine's Day is all about the kissing, right? Okay, so this is the Be Yourself by Real Her lip liner, which is a beautiful red. I'm going to line my lips because I've done this really soft eye and cheek. Since I've done this really soft eye and cheek, I want to do a nice bright red lip. Very classic. And you know me, I can't talk while I'm doing this. I do a little cross right at the Cupid's bow. Just gives it a little depth. The other thing I found is don't go all the way into the corners of your eyes, of your mouth, because then you're just going to smear your lipstick out like crazy. Now this is by Jolly Pong Pong Cosmetics. I got this in a lipstick of the month club that I was only in for like a month. But it's their Lip Patine metallic lipstick, and this is in the color Trinity, and it is absolutely perfect for this look. Look at that. It is one of the few from that particular monthly subscription. I can't even remember where I got it that I actually like. I ended up giving my daughters the rest of the stuff out of that subscription, but this one, I like the red because it's a classic red lip that just works. Okay, so let's wrap this up here. Okay, Valentine's Day, 2 St. Valentines, 1 murdered for getting married, 1 murdered for helping Christians. But the Catholic Church actually may have used the celebration of Lupercalia, which is for the god Faunus of agriculture and Romulus and Remus and the founding of Rome, where the men would sacrifice animals and then beat women with their hides. Weird. And they would couple each other, you know, with the lottery for the day or through the, you know, so the Catholic Church took it over, and now we have today our Valentine's Day, where everything is hearts and roses and love is in the air. So that's a little bit of the weird history of Valentine's Day. This is our classic Valentine's Day look. Just a little classic cat eye eyeliner, red lip, very simple. I'm going to wear it. I know my husband will love it. He loves red lips. So next week, what are we going to get into? I got some ideas. But if you have some ideas of something that you want me to delve into as far as weird history goes, put it in the comments below. Do me a favor, click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you can get notifications when I post these videos. And I'll see you again next time. Ta-ta.